Birthday Tuesday on Tuesday, February 2nd. Firstly, I don't think he watches my videos, but he possibly could. So I want to wish a happy birthday to my brother, Jim. And once again, apologize for being the world's worst person about getting things in the mail or ordering them to where they show up on your birthday. In crafty news, you'll see I've got this weird bear panel remnant behind me. I brought this home in a bag of patriotic fabrics that were donated to Project Linus. It didn't color-wise, even though it was red, white, and blue, it did not really match any of the other fabrics that were in that collection. Those are ones that I ended up cutting up into 8.5-inch squares and handing off to another volunteer. So I kept this one because it was just weird and it didn't fit with those, and also because it was weird and I decided I needed to figure out what to do with it. There's a lot going on in this thing. First of all, like all panels, it was completely wonky and not straight. The panel stops here. This is piecing that I added over the weekend. He's on a safari. There's a baby tiger and a toucan. Yet he's on an island in the middle of the water, and there's what looks kind of like palm trees, sort of. Yet it's red, white, and blue. Oh, there's a crocodile. Yeah, so many things going on there. But yet it's all patriotic colors. I didn't get it, but I figured that just lets me do whatever I want with it, right? So, I cut it, I squared it up as best I could at about 16 inches square, and then did this section of piecing with some, these are scraps that I had in my stash, and this is some yardage that I had, and those were the colors that matched best with, and it had stars on them, with what was already going on there. And then I felt like it needed a stop border. So I didn't have a white print with stars to keep the theme going, so I went with the Fairy Frost. It's got white with silver. Now I'm sort of at a loss. I'm not really sure what to do next. So it's, I believe, 24 inches square. Yeah, it's right at 24 inches square right now. And I keep trying to do the math because I have a bunch of different pre-cut squares that I did with the Quilt. I've got a bunch of charm squares, a ton in solids, and I have a ton of, or not a ton, not quite as many, but I have a bunch of 4.5-inch squares that I already cut. And my math tells me that the 4-inch squares are what I need to use, because I could use 6 of them across. No. Is that right? Yes, 6 of them across. And if they're 4.5 inches unfinished, they should finish at 24, right? Isn't that how that works? This way, on the top and bottom, and then on the sides, 8, right? Did I get that right? I guess we'll find out. So one of the things I did over the past week on my lunch breaks was stitch down zigzag, via zigzag, all of my appliques on the butterfly Project Linus quilt and on the Dinos Visit Beartown panel. After I got done with the Dinos Visit Beartown panel, I decided I needed to finish the top. So I started working on that, and this weekend I finished the top for that, and I made another top with the remainder of the lobster fabric, the vast quantities of lobster fabric that I had. December 2019. I pieced it at retreat in November of 19, and then Jennifer quilted it for me and sent it back to me so that I could get it bound and labeled and ready to go in my December donation. So I still had some lobster fabric. I had taken all of the remnants and I had put them into a bag with all of the nautical themed novelty fabric that I could find in my stash and in my Project Linus donations. And I was going to do a squares and bricks quilt with those. And then I realized that the only fabric that was big enough to do bricks out of was the lobsters. So I did do bricks and squares, but what I did was, thanks to a suggestion from Jennifer O, I alternated 4.5 inch squares with 4.5 by 8.5 inch bricks. All of the bricks are lobsters. I used up almost all of my ocean and or especially all of the kid themed ocean fabric or pirates or whatever. And then I had some that was just sort of more realistic looking, but it just looks like waves and stuff like that. I used some of that, so that was kind of fun. And then I also took some squares that I had cut last year, and I had already started piecing them with sashing last year, and then they just got tossed in the Linus bin and ignored. I brought that fabric home and thought, I'm going to piece this right away. And I cut it right away, and I started piecing it right away, and then got distracted. So, so I decided this weekend to pretend I was on a retreat, and I was going to piece Project Linus quilts out of ones that I started previously. I'm going to put pictures of all of those 3 finished tops from this weekend at the end of this video. And yeah, did I need to do that? No, I need to get some things quilted, but now I have replaced all of the quilts that I quilted already on my Project Linus hanger that I have over here to my left. So it's time to get busy quilting again. I look forward to watching your videos. Happy February, and I'll see you next week. Bye!